Mabuhay! I'm Eugenia Moraleda, and you're watching Landscapes of Learning. Today, we will begin our episode by an introduction to the Language of Learning logo. Notice the paper at the left side. This is the LL at the top. You see LLL, Landscapes of Learning, Learners Feeling Good. The key word or translation of feeling good is really joy in learning. Now, the Landscapes of Learning has 4 programs. You have the Teach Learn, where you will have some issues in teaching learning as discussed during the first episode that we had. Remember the concept framework? Doing, knowing, etc. That is it. The second component of this program is your music, where we had lessons from melody to major scales, through tempo and rhythm. Now, to catch up with the lessons in the natural world, let us now proceed to the third component, which is the arts component, where we will be starting today with the art element, line. And the last of the program is for the 4th quarter, which will tackle the theatrical dramatic part, meaning these are what I call scenarios scenarios from the future. Repeat: teach, learn, music, arts, and the last one, scenarios from the future. Now that is an introduction to what we're going to have. The formal lesson starts with the element line. What is line? Well, so many people say line is curved, line is straight, line is angular, etc., etc. But before we go to that, let us look at how do we look at an art piece. What is an artwork? To my right, you will find at the top 3 parts. Form at the top, which tackles the how of the artwork was formed. The other at the left is your subject. What is the artwork about? And then the content, meaning why was the artwork made? I repeat again, from the subject to form to content. Now in form, you will notice there are 2 parts. You have the elements, which is, we will be discussing that later, the elements line, value, shapes, texture, and color. And of course, the other part is the organizing, how these elements are distributed or mixed according to principles of organization. But let us go back now to the first poster that we have, the subject, form, and the content. Let me give you an example. Our example for today, just to illustrate what we mean by this form, parts of what constitutes an artwork. Actually, I entitled it, What is in, What's Seen? Okay, our subject, if we use this illustration, our subject is Nefertiti. Would you know Nefertiti? Oh, she was the loveliest queen of Egypt, in fact, in the ancient world. It might be, you might smile, but even this Discovery Channel has a lot of documentaries on Nefertiti. So I made it out of curiosity. I said, who wants to know about Nefertiti? So I did. And there I found why they were all so full of efforts in finding out the mystery of Nefertiti. Was she really that lovely? Was she really that beautiful? Why was she chosen out of these so many lovely Egyptian queens? Why Nefertiti? Well, for today you'll get example, the reason for that. Below that is a sunken relief. It's a relief on a wall that was found in Egypt. And it is quite a very rare artwork. Why? It doesn't look like the ordinary wall decor of the Egyptian, or their straight face. This one is almost like a photograph. It is showing Nefertiti as a wife of the king with their 3 children. That is why it is very rare, because even other royals did not pose. I've been trying to look at some photographs where you will find some very family bonding moments among royals. That is, at least not before we have the Americans, family of presidents. But during that time, the Egyptians were always posed frontal. The queen was always straight-faced, and even the pharaoh. But this one, the sunken relief, speaks of so many things that I do not know why they find it, Nefertiti, very mysterious. Of course, if you look at the photograph here, you find a very beautiful lady, from the graceful neck to the profile. I would call it an elegant, queenly distant, but there is something very human in her face, although it does not smile or what, which you will find, of course, in this painting. So let us go to this artwork. Why did I choose that as a very rare specimen of works of ancient Egypt? Why? First, I don't think the king wanted something like this. It was the artistic, the aesthetic part. The artist, of course, is not known today, but he was, I think he must have observed Nefertiti during family time. And what do we find? Not this queenly, elegant, distant queen, very remote, almost untouchable, but the wife of a king, smiling at the king, and they were exchanging, I would call it, exchanging love messages. And with them are their 3 children. You find 2 here with Nefertiti. One is sitting on her lap, and then the other one is playing with her earrings. And Nefertiti is enjoying those moments. So you said, nothing really is mysterious. If you want to know more about Nefertiti, the first sign is that she was a happy queen. You could not have been happier if you didn't have this kind of setting. That's more for our analysis for starters. So why is this significant? Because of the message. It says that Nefertiti valued family life. You find it in her joyous face, which is quite different from her expression here. She is smiling, and her eyes are also almost twinkling and smiling. And the kids are playing and pointing at their father. The father, the king, is cuddling or playing with the other child. You notice that? That is what we mean by, why is this artwork important? Because of its sign that family life was an important principle or a policy or something that Nefertiti enjoyed, which was not easily seen by all the researchers, etc., of different filmmakers and all that. They were looking for some scandal, they were looking for some mystery, they were looking for some tragedy, because when the king died, it did not take long for Nefertiti to disappear. And later on, after thousands of years, they find that her body is missing in her tomb. The fact is, they were concluding that there was really no dead Nefertiti buried in that tomb. So how the form? Well, very simple. The artist just used lines, the element was line, and it was done in the material the wall is limestone, but the painter, artist, the sculptor relied on simple lines. Here, not so much of other elements, but more of line. And we call that kind of technique as contour, or in simple terms, outlining. Even kids can do that. Later on, that will be one of the activities. How was it organized? Simple. The work was organized in such a way that it's balanced. You have the male figure, the female figure. And then it is not very stiff, it is candid. That's why the lines are not straight. They are contour-like, meandering, curved lines. But what is astounding about this piece is that the facial expression says so many things, from the eyes to the lips and to the gait and to the way the children are portrayed playing with their parents. That is how important family life was to Nefertiti. So in terms of importance of concept, to my mind, even up to now, that concept is important. Family life. Nefertiti did not wanted to pose as a squid. In fact, this was commissioned by the king. He wanted to see everybody, to see Nefertiti as beautiful as this. Even this is a very unusual crown. So that is for content. Why is this important? Because of the content. The message is family life. The subject is Nefertiti, and more or less I said the curved line was used as a contour to describe what the subject was. And the subject is not just Nefertiti as in the past, but it is Nefertiti with family during bonding family moments. For our lecture today, I would like you to challenge, or I even challenge the students, including you, the teachers and all, to make a contour of your face showing different, well, at least you can start with happy or sad. In this sunken relief, you do not see any sad face. It's all happy faces. Good luck, and let's wait for the next